Next, I want to talk about augmented reality, and AR is a type of virtual reality where objects or data are added to an existing reality displayed on a screen but not a natural part of it. And so this is where the user is very aware that they're in the same location that they're in, but they may use their smartphone or some kind of a headset to see maybe a character or text overlaid onto their current world. So they have a very much a sense of where they are and that they are in the location that they're physically in, but some kind of digital overlay is added to enhance their experience. And so examples of this that we see, Pokemon Go, if you've ever played that game on your smartphone, Snapchat or Instagram face filters. We also have Google Translate, which allows you to hover your phone over foreign text and it will translate it into your native language. Very, very cool examples of these. The earliest example of AR was Google Glass, where you could put on a headset and it would project a screen in front of you and you would see some options to be able to record your world. So anyway, those are some examples. You see here, I have examples of the Snapchat face filters, but also there was this mural in Austin that if you go on the corner of, I think it was 7th Street and Congress, and you hover your phone over a mural, it would appear as though the mural was moving through the app that you had to download. And so that was quite an interesting example. But these are called marker-based augmented reality experiences, where it will detect an area of maybe your face, or it'll detect a certain barcode or something, and it will start acting upon based on a certain markers that the camera might pick up. Another type of AR is markerless AR, and also known as geolocation AR. And so if you're at a certain area, like a scene where a certain film was filmed, you could go there and hover your phone over that block, and you could see how a certain scene of your favorite film panned out. And so that's kind of a fun way. It's not picking up any physical signals, but by location, if you hover your phone, you might see certain events play out based on the location. Another type of AR is projection-based AR, and we're seeing lots more of this. I don't know if you ever saw when Tupac appeared at Coachella in 2012. This was an example of being able to really feel like somebody's in the room with you, but they really weren't, using highly specialized projection hardware. And we're seeing more of this. We saw it at the Super Bowl this year with Prince. And that's just another form of augmented reality. And then you've also got the superimposition-based AR, and that's an example I want you to look at during this module, where this is the IKEA furniture catalog that allows you to place furniture within a space and walk around it and get a sense of it, and that's called superimposition-based AR, and there are a lot of exciting examples of this, including the New York Times using it in a lot of their augmented reality stories. Pretty interesting. So there is a lot of potential for AR. AR allows the user to get closer to a story by allowing them to interact with it on a whole new level. You'll see on the left, this is an example from the New York Times on their stories on profiles on each of their Olympians. And this is me at a coffee shop just placing figure skater Nathan Chen in the middle of this coffee shop. And so I could watch him do his routine and walk around him, and using my smartphone. And this was right within an article on the New York Times app. And that's something that I'm going to have you guys look at as well. And finally, you have mixed reality, which is kind of a combination of virtual and augmented reality, where virtual objects are placed over the real physical surroundings in your world. So it's like augmented reality, but allows you to interact with them. And so instead of just it being a figure skater in the room, maybe you'd be able to walk up to that figure skater and talk to it, or actually interact with it in some way, which is very exciting as well. Microsoft HoloLens is doing a lot of work in this, and the Meta 2 are examples of headsets that allow you to not just overlay these objects but also interact with them. And it seems to have the most commercial potential because it allows for greater user interaction, and it's kind of the best of both worlds. It's virtual, but it's also augmented, so it gives you the control and the exploration of a virtual environment, but also the makes you feel like you're not quite in another world, but it's bringing that world to you. So the Meta 2, that's an example of it, and on the right you can see somebody taking like a globe and moving it around and being able to interact with these objects. So it's pretty exciting to see where a lot of this technology is going, and it's really just the beginning. And I hope that gives you guys a good understanding of what augmented, virtual, and mixed reality are, and how they might be applied for storytelling.